Hi, I'm Professor Silver, and today I'll break down the history of Ash's Goodra, detailing its transformation from a traumatized Goomy into an elite warrior. But first, a quick shout out to our sponsor Fabletics. You're probably wondering why my hair is brown right now. Well, just like my new workout gear, I've been switching things up. You might not know it from my lab coat, but I work out 6 times a week. When I'm not researching Pokemon, I'm running, lifting, or swimming. My old workout gear was worn out, so Fabletics hooked me up with a whole new wardrobe. They sent me shorts, shirts, sweaters, joggers, jackets, bags, a vest, and so much more. The clothes not only look great, but are also lightweight, breathable, and comfy. They're perfect for both workouts and lounging. With the holidays coming up, now is the perfect time to join Fabletics' VIP program. New members get 80% off their first order, plus save up to 50% daily and enjoy exclusive access to sales and monthly drops. Each month, you'll get a credit for a 2-piece outfit or $100 to spend on any item. Best of all, the membership is flexible. You can skip any month between the 1st and the 5th without being charged. Whether you're purchasing clothes for yourself or your loved ones, Fabletics makes for the perfect gift. So if you're ready to evolve your wardrobe, go to fabletics.com/Professor Alex Silver to join the VIP program and get 80% off your first order. And now back to Goodra and silver hair. As a wild Pokemon, Goomy initially lived peacefully in the Kalos Wetlands. Most of its days were spent playing with its best friend Wooper. Life was simple and carefree until it wasn't. Everything changed when a wild Florges and her Pokemon army seized the wetlands to control a spring with healing properties. Goomy and its friends were powerless to stop the invasion, as they weren't accustomed to war. Goomy was small, weak, and terrified, so it did little but panic as its friends were terrorized. When Florges confronted Goomy and Wooper, she struck Goomy with Moonblast, sending it onto the back of a fleeing Swanna. The experience traumatized Goomy and left it deeply afraid of fairy types. Rather than return Goomy to its homeland, Swanna dropped it atop Ash in the XY episode A Slippery Encounter. Though Goomy's arrival initially confused Ash, he quickly noticed it was dehydrated and rushed it to a nearby river. Had he not helped Goomy, it surely would have perished. Its water-based body made breathing with dry skin very difficult. Once rehydrated, Goomy became infinitely more cheerful. For the briefest of moments, it forgot all its trauma and thought only of the gratitude it felt for its new friends. Unfortunately, Goomy's elation faded upon meeting Dedenne. Unbeknownst to Ash and his friends, Dedenne's fairy typing reminded Goomy of Florges and all the terror she had caused. To make matters worse, Bonnie and Serena teased Goomy, calling it weird and gross. Goomy responded to the insults with frustration and rain dance. Right as Goomy started to settle down, an Gyarados triggered its PTSD. The sight of the bug type gave Goomy a panic attack because others of its kind had ravaged its homeland, alongside Seviper, Yanmega, Pinsir, Beedrill, and of course, Florges. Ash and his friends investigated Goomy's distress using Clement's Pokemon Translator, but the broadcast cut off before they could learn its full story. Goomy appreciated Ash's empathy, but its troubles continued after Team Rocket captured it and Pikachu. Though terrified, Goomy was inspired by Pikachu's bravery and found the strength to persevere. It helped Pikachu escape and slowed James with Rain Dance. Goomy's courage didn't stop there. After Team Rocket confused Ash's Pokemon, Goomy bravely jumped to his defense and used Bide to help Pikachu blast off Inkay and Pumpkaboo's attacks. At the end of the day, Goomy asked to join Ash's team as it wanted to get strong like Pikachu. Ash happily accepted, as he saw huge potential in Goomy and wanted to be its friend. After its capture, Goomy met Ash and his friends' Pokemon and won for the Goomy. While at first excited, Goomy was overwhelmed by Hawlucha's bravado, Chespin and Panchum's antics, and Dedenne's presence. However, after some lighthearted play, Goomy began to warm up. That is, until Team Rocket ambushed them. Their attack separated Goomy from Ash, leaving it lost with Bonnie, Serena, Panchum, and Dedenne. Dedenne relished the opportunity to bond with Goomy, but Goomy repelled all his advances and instead played with Panchum. When Team Rocket again attacked, they triggered Goomy's PTSD, leading it to flee in fear. Ironically, Goomy walked right into Team Rocket's clutches. They tried to catch it, but Dedenne intervened, proving himself a true friend. In return, Goomy used Rain Dance to alert Ash and save Dedenne from further harm. From then on, Goomy and Dedenne were inseparable. It didn't matter that they were of different types. They were bros through and through. With Dedenne by its side, Goomy felt more at home with Ash. As Goomy emerged from its shell, it dwelled less on the past and focused more on the future. Inspired by Ash's gym battle in green grass types of home, it even caught the battling bug. After some bonding time and under the pledging tree, Goomy officially began training with Ash in an oasis of hope. Ash intended for Goomy to learn Dragon Breath by training with Pikachu, but their training was interrupted by a Spoink who was seeking help against an evil Grumpig. Grumpig's enslavement of Spoink's friends enraged Goomy, as it was reminded of Florges' army's cruelty. While Ash and his friends tried to free the Spoink, they were captured by Team Rocket, who had allied with Grumpig. Although Ash and the others were trapped, Goomy and Dedenne escaped their cage. They then confronted Grumpig and battled fiercely. After Dedenne fell, Goomy's rage and wish to prevent more tragedy fueled its will to fight. It fought valiantly, but Grumpig withstood Bide and maintained the upper hand. It wasn't until Ash shielded Goomy from Irontail that things finally started to turn around. Ash's selflessness inspired Goomy to push past its limits and evolve into Sliggoo. Using its evolved powers, Sliggoo beat Grumpig with newly learned Dragon Breath. Since Team Rocket still posed a threat, Sliggoo then joined forces with Pikachu to feint Inkay and Pumpkaboo. By beating both Grumpig and Team Rocket, Sliggoo achieved what it couldn't in the Wetlands. It stood its ground against overwhelming odds, fought courageously, and triumphed in freeing its friends. Due to Sliggoo's growth in power and confidence, Ash thought it ready for the Lumiose gym. In Good Friends, Great Training, Ash intended for Sliggoo and Pikachu to prepare for the gym by battling Tierno's Wartortle and Raichu. Regrettably, Team Rocket disrupted the battle before it began. Though Sliggoo saved Pikachu from their clutches, it was caught along with Wartortle and Raichu. After Team Rocket accidentally freed them, the Pokémon, along with Tierno, Bonnie, and Dedenne, teamed up to protect their friends from harm. In the process, Sliggoo injured itself to help destroy a rock that was blocking their path, showing that it would do anything for its friends. When Team Rocket tried to capture Pikachu yet again, Sliggoo came to his rescue. However, it faced a crisis after Pumpkaboo triggered a painful memory by starting a forest fire. But instead of retreating, Sliggoo stood firm, used Rain Dance, and evolved into Goodra. In essence, it turned trauma into strength. Goodra retained its playful nature after evolving, but now had pseudo-legendary power. Inkay and Pumpkaboo tried to defeat it, but Goodra held them at bay with Dragon Pulse. The new attack replaced Dragon Breath as Goodra's draconian projectile of choice. With Team Rocket defeated, Ash and Tierno resumed their battle. To start things off, Goodra powered up Bide with Charge Beam and Focus Blast, while Pikachu launched Electro Ball and broke apart Hydro Pump with Iron Tail. Tierno's Pokemon attempted a rhythmic comeback, but in the end, Ash's team emerged victorious by combining Dragon Pulse and Thunderbolt. The victory set the stage for Goodra's next big challenge. In the moment of Lumiose truth, it starred as Ash's ace at the Lumiose gym. Unfortunately, its first battle was a total mismatch. Clement's speedy Heliolisk dodged Dragon Pulse, used Flash, landed Dragon Tail, and paralyzed Goodra with Thunder Wave. As a result, Ash subbed in Hawlucha. When Goodra returned to the field, it performed significantly better against Clement's Luxray. It opened the battle by using Rain Dance to eliminate electric terrain, and its hydration ability to alleviate its paralysis. With its mobility restored, Goodra then deflected Swift and charged Bide. Despite Luxray pushing forward with Thunderfang, Wild Charge, and Swift, Goodra withstood them all and won with Bide. Winning the Voltage badge solidified Goodra as a true brawler, but it still had to confront its past. In defending the homeland, Goodra reunited with Keenan, the Wetlands caretaker, and was invited home. Although returning home worried Goodra, it held strong and returned anyway. Ash was confused by Goodra's discomfort, but understood once Keenan explained the trauma it endured. During his story, Keenan revealed that Goodra's friends were still alive, hidden in a corner of the Wetlands. It thrilled Goodra to reunite with them. Wooper and all the others were thoroughly impressed by its newfound stature, confidence, and strength. Unfortunately, Goodra's arrival drew Florges' attention, leading her to attack them. Goodra not only repelled her forces with Bide, but also inspired its friends to fight back themselves. Even though Ash wanted to fight as well, Keenan believed wild Pokemon should settle their disputes on their own. The two armies were evenly matched, so Florges joined the fray to tip the scale. Her presence made Goodra wary, but Ash reminded it that its travels had transformed it into an extremely powerful battler. Fueled by Ash's support, Goodra stopped Petal Dance with Dragon Pulse, held firm as Florges used Grassy Terrain, and blocked Solar Beam. Florges knew she couldn't win fairly, so she started targeting Goodra's friends, forcing it to shield them. Her Moonblast nearly spelled Goodra's doom, but Ash's words of encouragement inspired Goodra to keep battling. Rather than accept defeat, it gathered all its strength, taught itself Ice Beam, and blasted Florges into submission. Before Goodra could revel in its victory, Team Rocket launched a sneak attack, leaving it badly injured. While Goodra recovered, Team Rocket befriended Florges and convinced her to join their cause. Her agreement stemmed from her belief that Team Rocket would help her get the healing water she needed to heal her daughter Floette. Mistakenly, she believed Goodra wanted the water for itself. In reality, Goodra just wanted to protect its friends and let them live in peace. To make matters worse, one of Florges' Ariados kidnapped Pikachu, Wooper, and Dedenne. In the next episode, Beyond the Rainbow, Goodra and Ash teamed up to rescue them. Upon confronting Florges, they learned about Floette's condition and began to understand Florges' motivation. After Team Rocket revealed that they were the ones who had been stealing the spring water, Florges allied with Ash and Goodra to beat them. While fighting Team Rocket, Goodra and Florges gained mutual respect for one another. Together, they boarded an airship, clobbered Team Rocket's Pokemon, and freed all their friends. Once Team Rocket was defeated, the two Pokemon combined Rain Dance and Grassy Terrain to restore the Wetlands to its former beauty. In the end, Goodra's pure heart led Florges to see the error of her ways. By restoring the Wetlands together, Goodra and Florges showed their respective armies that they could live in peace. The unification of their groups was fully solidified when Floette recovered. Her getting healthy again ushered in an age of equality and prosperity where all Wetlands Pokemon lived in harmony. The peace they achieved was a major triumph, but for Ash, it was bittersweet. Seeing Goodra so happy and carefree made him realize that it would be happier living in the Wetlands than continuing with him on his journey. As a result, Ash asked Goodra to stay with its friends and serve as their protector. It pained Ash, Dedenne, and the rest of the gang to part ways with Goodra, but they left with love in their hearts, knowing they would reunite one day. After Ash released Goodra, he continued his quest to collect Kalosian badges. Throughout the rest of the saga, Goodra returned on several occasions, starting in masterclasses in session and performing a pathway to the future. In those episodes, it could be seen watching Serena's masterclass showcase. Later on, in a Diamond in the Rough, Ash visited Goodra at its wetland home while en route to the Kalos League. The reunion confirmed that Ash was correct in his assumption that Goodra would thrive in its homeland. When Ash first arrived, Goodra could be seen standing proudly surveying its land with Florges by its side. For all of Goodra's splendor as a leader, it remained as lovable as ever. It was ecstatic to see Ash and Dedenne again, and happy to meet Ash's Noivern. While Ash was visiting, Goodra helped some Carbink find their lost friend and defeated Team Rocket. Subsequently, invaluable experience for all, it was revealed that Ash had used his visit to ask Goodra to rejoin him for the Kalos League. At the league, Keenan brought Goodra to Ash just in time for the semifinals. In a riveting rivalry, Goodra presented a major threat to Sawyer. It was the only one of Ash's Kalos Pokemon who Sawyer had never seen in action. Opposite Sawyer's Slurpuff, Goodra got off to a rousing start by blocking Flamethrower, shrugging off Dazzling Gleam, and tanking Fairy Wind to power up Bide. Slurpuff reduced Bide's effects with Cotton Guard and fired off Flamethrower, but Goodra countered with Ice Beam. Slurpuff kept up the pressure with Fairy Wind and Flamethrower, so Goodra put all its efforts into one last Bide. The move's collision with Fairy Wind produced a double knockout. Although not quite a win, Goodra's resilience and determination led to a hard-fought draw. After Ash defeated Sawyer, he used Goodra in the finals against Alon's Bisharp and down to the fiery finish. Starting off with Rain Dance, Goodra continued with Ice Beam, intercepted Iron Head, and traded Dragon Pulse for Focus Blast. Bisharp retaliated with more Iron Head and Focus Blast attacks, but Goodra purposely tanked them so as to power up Bide. Even though Bide connected with full force, Bisharp survived the blow and won the match. To do so, it landed another Iron Head, leapt through Dragon Pulse, and claimed victory with Guillotine. Despite losing the battle, Goodra's Rain Dance bolstered Greninja's strength, allowing him to easily defeat Bisharp. Following the league's end, Goodra became embroiled in another major conflict. In the towering takeover, Goodra, Ash, and his other Pokemon were kidnapped by Lysander and placed in bonds. After Alon's Charizard freed them in coming apart at the Dreams, they battled Lysander's Pyroar and Mega Gyarados. During the battle, which continued into the right hero for the right job, Goodra countered attacks, landed Dragon Pulse, and fell to Mega Gyarados. Thanks to its heroism, it received a medal in battling with a clean slate. When everything was wrapped up, Goodra returned home and facing the needs of the many. The departure was an emotional affair, but Goodra knew it belonged with its friends. Until we compete again, Goodra was shown leading the Wetlands alongside Florges, serving valiantly as the locale's benevolent mediator. Although Goodra didn't physically return in Journeys, its presence was felt through a vision to Pikachu in Partners in Time, a mention in Ash's Thoughts in Heroes Unite, and a flashback in The Same Moon, Now and Forever. While Goodra may never return, it's likely Ash calls on it whenever he needs a powerful dragon to defend his world champion title. That, or he's looking for a trip down memory lane. As that concludes Goodra's history, let's get to its battle record. Goodra beat Jesse's Pumpkaboo, James's Inkay, Wild Grumpig, Tierno's Raichu, Tierno's Wartortle, Clement's Luxray, Wild Florges, and Jesse's Gourgeist. It lost to Alon's Bisharp and Lysander's shiny Mega Gyarados. Lastly, Goodra tied with Sawyer's Slurpuff. Move-wise, Goodra used Bide, Dragon Breath, Dragon Pulse, Ice Beam, and Rain Dance. Like Naganadel and Lapras, Goodra is more memorable for its storylines than its battles. Before XY became the Greninja show, Goodra stood out as one of Ash's most nuanced Kalosian Pokemon. Its traumatic past shaped every decision it made, and its appearances mostly served to advance its character arc. This is unlike many of Ash's other Pokemon, whose storylines were often filled with filler. I thoroughly enjoyed how Goodra's personality evolved throughout the series. While always kind and playful, it grew in confidence, strength, and heroism. Its journey shows that the past doesn't have to define you. With hard work, you can move forward and build a better life. It's a great lesson for every viewer, young and old alike. Though Goodra didn't get too many battles, the fight with Clement was fantastic. To give it a better battling send-off, I would have had it star in a league battle against a Mega Fairy. Defeating a Mega Altaria, Gardevoir, or Mawile would have been the perfect way to show how Goodra had conquered its fear of fairy types. Ultimately, I love Goodra as a character for its heartwarming and relatable story. If every Pokemon had such an awesome storyline, the anime would get the respect it's due. And on that, class is adjourned. I want to give a big thanks to Fabletics for their patronage. Support them and the channel by clicking the first link in the description to upgrade your wardrobe. I'm Professor Silver. Until next time, catch you later.